Hi, it's Kim Scholl, the Life Journey Coach, and I want to talk to you today about creating a vision board for your life. And I'm standing on the step stool in front of mine so that you can see the one in my office. So no, I'm not really this tall. But if this hangs up on my wall, this happens to be a bulletin board. That was just the products I use. You don't have to use a bulletin board. I just happen to have an extra one laying around. And the vision board is, for me, it's a generalization of the 6 big areas of my life, and I designated those on the board by using different colored scrapbooking paper as the background. And I'm going to tell you a little bit more about each of those particular divisions, but there are a lot of different ways you can do a vision board. This one didn't take me all that long once I actually sat down to do it, because I've been using a process for many years called an illustrative discovery journal. And every time I get a bunch of magazines and I need to throw them out or give them away, I first go through them and I pull out images that appeal to me. And then I've been pasting them into a sketchbook, just a blank sketchbook. And sometimes I write little sayings, a lot of times I don't. Some of these sayings I actually did pull out of magazines, like A Great French Kiss. And others I just printed up on my computer as I needed them to make my vision board. So I'm going to give you some more specifics. Hang on just a second, I'll be right back. Okay, so here is a close-up of the different divisions. First, I knew I wanted to do life coaching. I knew I wanted to be a motivational speaker. I wasn't quite sure how that was going to look, so this space stayed empty for quite some time, but now I've got some of my big, huge picture business goals on here, my first business card. I've created what my ideal work week would look like, even though that's not quite where I'm at yet. And this 3 to 7 reference is a reminder to me of my 3-year plan and what kind of financial goals I have for this business. I have a section here called Financial Freedom. What would that mean to me? And that's not the car that I currently own, but paying a car off means freedom to me because I no longer have the car payment. Having some money squirreled away in a nest egg means a lot to me. And so those are on my vision board as well. I want to travel the world, and I've been to Paris. I want to go back. So up here I've actually got pictures of an apartment in Paris that I could rent. And my goal would be to rent that for 3 whole months. Wouldn't that be exciting? Down here in the love corner, I call it, it's all about, for me, relationships with friends and having a really close girlfriend or two, and maybe even someday, hopefully, I don't know, finding love again. Haven't quite given up hope on that. In the center section, this is not something I set out to put on my vision board, but as I went through my discovery journal and saw picture after picture after picture of cute little cottages, I realized that the house I live in right now and renovated as an investment is really my nest. So I'm going to put some effort, some time, and some money into making it a true sanctuary for me. Instead of just looking at it as an asset, I'm actually going to make it my home. And then in this corner, I do want to get back to writing, and so here are some things that would motivate me for that. Wouldn't it be great if one of my fiction ideas became a stunning New York Times bestseller and a award-winning screenplay? And I also have one of my favorite writers was offering a writer's retreat at a house that she owns, and even though that particular house is no longer available, the idea of going on a retreat is something I kind of have a vision about. So there's not a whole lot of specific on this board because this is a general vision for who I am, who I want to become, and how I want to live my life. This board should give you a sense of feeling about where you're headed as opposed to really hardcore specific goals. That's a little bit different, and we're going to talk about that next. Okay, so your vision board should start with just images. And remember, a vision board is more than just pictures of stuff. It's about who you want to become, what you want to have, where you want to live, where you want to vacation. I have files of things that I take out of magazines in terms of travel, but I also collect things that just catch my eye. I've got flowers here, I've got paint colors, deck stains, you name it. And I got the idea and started doing this from this lovely book, which came out in 1985, called Simple Abundance. And I highly recommend picking this up if you can find it somewhere. And just day by day, it goes through exploring who you are. And what this resulted in over time was an illustrated discovery journal. And as you can see, it's not upside down, but I just started pasting in pictures. I found this picture of the Biltmore Estate, and I always wanted to go there, and guess what? I did. What I get out of looking at this and flipping through it throughout the years is a sense of where my life is at any given moment. One time it was very important to me to have children, so having pictures of mommies and children are in here. I get a sense of what colors appeal most to me, so that when I do have to go shopping for paint, I'm really not as confused. Sometimes there's a great quote from a magazine attached to something I want to travel to, or these are actual photographs from Chicago, because that's one of my favorite cities. So I highly recommend, even if you don't know how to start a vision board, just putting together this. This one got full. I had to start a second one. I love vintage Santas, things like that. But there's a lot of blue, for example, in here. As I flip through, I find a lot of blue. And so it turns out that that happens to be a color that makes me feel really good, and that's why I use it. Now you can do a vision board on a bulletin board like I did, or you can do a vision board on poster board. It doesn't have to be perfect, and it could be something you want to change quite a bit throughout the years. You never know. And I'm just going to keep flipping through. This woman just evoked a feeling of peace and calm, and I love being near the ocean, so I love that picture. I love flowers, and again, lots of outdoor cottagey scenes, and isn't that just the cutest little dog in the world? You can also do your vision board according to a theme. It could be all about work and career, or it could be your physical fitness goals, but the idea is to start getting some images, because when you see something with your eyes and it makes an imprint on your brain, you start to see patterns of who you really are. So that's it for today. Thank you very much for joining me on my vision quest, and I hope to see more of you. And please get in contact with me through thelifejourneycoach.com and let me know what you're thinking. Bye.